Alright, welcome back to Foot Patrol Australia, and today we are exploring Margate, which is on the Redcliffe Peninsula in the city of Moreton Bay. And I've already made a video, no talking, walking through this area, but I'm just going to try and remember all the things I can remember about Margate. I've lived in Margate, I live close to Margate, got family that live in Margate, and the first place we'll talk about is this place here, which used to be the Golden Ox restaurant and wedding venue. My sister actually got married here, and my brother-in-law, and it was owned by Nick and Virginia. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name, but I think it might be Tazimus. And it had a pretty good reputation, and this is where the wedding venue used to be. It looks maintained, but I don't know if they're using it. It changed hands, they retired I think, and it changed hands, and then I think one of the new owners died. So halfway through the renovation it closed, I think, if my memory's correct, and then it went up for sale, and it reopened as the Ox, not the Golden Ox. I guess it's some maybe play on words with g'day mate, with Oxley Avenue. So now it's reopened as a bar, bistro, gaming sort of pub, sports bar kind of thing going on. But it did have a very good reputation as a restaurant and wedding venue here in Redcliffe for a very long time. There's the box there. Anyway, there it is. So we're on Oxley Avenue. We're coming up to Bank Street, and so we're on the eastern side at the moment of Oxley Avenue, and you'll be able to see in the distance maybe there's a whole lot of construction work going on down where that truck is now. There used to be a whole vacant block of land, and it's now, I might go down there actually, it's now being developed into Nautica is the name of the development. It used to be a massive big block of land that sat vacant for decades, and now it says a limited collection of 3 and 4 bedroom luxury villas. Just what Redcliffe needs, more luxury apartments. Doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of green space, but I could be wrong. And here it is here, so still under construction. I might actually walk that way. I might even make a separate video about it. Lots of steel frame apartment construction going on there. nauticamargate.com.au, nauticamargate.com.au. Anyway, I might do that later. This used to be Jets Fitness, I think, but maybe it's changed hands, and now it looks like it's Pinot and Picasso. So this place has moved from Redcliffe. So it used to be on the corner of Redcliffe Parade and Anzac Avenue. I did do a video there of those abandoned buildings, which have now been demolished, and they are going to be part of the, I think it's called One Redcliffe, the apartment building there. This is now moved. You can drink wine and paint at the same time. I don't enjoy either, so I won't be going. But if you want to know more, here it is here. P note and a car, so it looks like it's $49, $59, depending on which day you come. Coffee shop here. It's been here for a while. Caffeinate. Oh, only 2 years. Established 2023. Looks like it's now called Little Oxley. So all this used to be Jets Fitness, that's why it's all painted red. And looks like it's gone under, and it's now called 365 Fitness. 326. I'm guessing that's something to do with 326 Oxley Avenue, and the entrance is down there. Now that gives you a better view actually of the construction work. Don't know how well you'll be able to see it on the video that's going on. There's heaps of dust down there, so I won't go down there at the moment, but might come back at a later point. Okay, we'll keep moving. Down here you got Aboriginal medical service. Now half of this, and a podiatry, physio place. Half of this used to be a real estate agent, but they've now moved on. So there it is there, Moreton Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Community Health Service. Got a car yard here, Bremen Motors. It's been here for a few years, selling sort of European style cars. Never seen anyone in there, never seen the owner, but must make money or wouldn't be there. Now this building here is now called the Davange Group. Get the exact title in a minute. I think David Bradford is the guy who's behind it. But it used to be, it's an RTO and registered training organisation and all that sort of thing. Davangecare.org, D-A-V-A-N-G-E, care, C-A-R-E.org, and the Bradford Institute, named after David Bradford, who I think is the CEO or something like that, former lecturer from QUT, Queensland University of Technology, and worked for TAFE for some time. But this is actually the former, or the original, home of Kindred, that I know of anyway. So Josh Kindred, the real estate agent. So I did make another video about the Redcliffe waterfront, and I showed you the Kindred location there. So it used to be here before it moved to Redcliffe, and there used to be a big sign up here saying we've moved to, I think it's 35 Redcliffe Parade. It's now gone from there as well. It's moved to the old Village Motors site at Kippering. But anyway, that's the building. This next place used to be a furniture store. It looks like a second-hand clothing place now. Top label, second-hand clothing. Used to be a furniture shop, and yeah, it had been there for a number of years. It's called Blue Jay Way now. There you go. Okay, we're now on the corner of Beaconfield Street, so be a bit noisy down here, probably because of the construction work. Now the only business down here that I know much about is Cleaver Firearms. So they used to be located up on the other side of Oxley Avenue. Bit of a view of the construction work going on there. Anyway, Cleaver Firearms used to be located up on the other side of Oxley Avenue, across from Woolworths, but this is their current location. I think they still might either own or rent or lease the space up on the other side of Oxley Ave, and it's a gun shop, weapons store. Cleaver Firearms has been in Margate for decades. Anyway, I'll remember to point out the other store that they had, or maybe they still have it, I'm not sure, but it's definitely not where their retail outlet is. When we get up to the other side of Oxley Avenue, second-hand store or op shop, opportunity shop as we call it here in Australia. Not much to say about it other than it's really cold inside. The air conditioning is really cold and it's surprisingly expensive. Here it is here. Now I might forget things, or I might get things wrong, so if I get something wrong in this video, let me know. I'm only documenting what I remember, and as you know, things, memories fade over time. Healthy Noodle Bar has been here for a very long time, yeah, I don't remember it not being here. Down here used to be a music school where they taught all sorts of music. My brother, I'm pretty sure, went here for some period of time learning violin or one of those, but long since closed. Okay, there's nothing going on down here, and this backs onto a shopping centre, as you can see through the glass around there, which is pretty much dead in the water. Anyway, let's keep rocking and rolling. Noodle place, like I said, I don't remember, I've never been there myself, but I don't remember it ever not being there. You got just a bridal shop here. I don't remember what was there before. Maybe a hair salon or something. Oh no, this is a hair salon here. Identity Hair Design. Can't say I've ever been in there. Looks like a females and an adult shop, which has been here for, never been in there myself, but it's been there for a while. Down this street, I'm not going to go down there too much other than to talk about John's Fags, which is where the ute is parked on the other side of the street. I actually worked for a short time. Actually, I will go down the street. Just talk about a couple of locations on the other side of the road, actually. Maybe this side as well. This shopping centre here is called Centrepoint Courtyard. It's always been kind of dead in the water. Not really having much going on. A few shops around the outside, nothing in the middle. It used to have inside a furniture store, like an office furniture store, where I bought a desk from many years ago and a chair for my home office. But not much going on. It looks fairly well shut up inside. Stuff everywhere all over the ground. Used to be a great mural here. I don't know what happened to it. Looks like it was graffitied and it's gone. Now across the road here is two hairdressing places, and actually I should just walk a bit further forward. And talk about them. They're owned by the same family. Two different stores owned by the same family. So we are just in the area backing onto the shops, the Margate shopping centre, and I'm about to walk past a house that was pretty badly destroyed by fire a few years ago. This one here looks like they must have demolished it. Actually, they did demolish it because they were living in a demountable for some period of time. Looks like they've rebuilt it. Still rebuilding it actually. So these two shops here, Rob's Barber Shop, owned by Robbie Lupino. The shop used to be on the other side of, well, both of these shops, oh no, not the second one, used to be on the other side of Oxley Avenue, and I'll point that out when we get up there. Used to get my hair cut there, but old Robbie's a bit expensive for me these days, so and Lupino's, which used to be in Kippering Shopping Centre, owned by his dad, and Robbie's a third generation Italian barber, so drop in if you want to get your hair cut. A bit expensive for me now. Cost of living is creeping up, and even a cheap haircut's not cheap anymore. So they're the two shops there. You got Lupino hair, and then you got Rob's Barber Shop. Been around for a long time. 1994 it says for Rob's Barber Shop, which would be right. So these shops here are backing onto Bain Street, B-A-Y-N-E-S. As we're getting closer to the Margate Village, I think it's called, Margate Shopping Centre. So this is Free Choice Tobacconist, which is formerly known as John's Fags, and I used to work with, for a short period of time, John's wife. I'm trying to think of her name. I worked with her at Redcliffe Hospital. Her name escapes me, but she unfortunately passed away, which I was pretty sad about. There it is. And you got Peninsula Fitness training area. I'm not sure if John still owns John's Fags. If I remember her name, I'll say it, but I can't think of it at the moment. But if my memory's correct, I think they moved away from Redcliffe, and shortly thereafter she passed away, unfortunately. G'day, mate. Yeah, so this is RB Lawyers, or Robert Backer Lawyers. Been around for decades, well-known lawyer in the Margate area. Dry cleaning place, I can't say I've noticed that there. Or looks like formal wear, J&R Formal Boutique, dressmaking, alterations, all that sort of stuff. Can't say I've ever noticed that there before. Little haircut place in here, it's been here for a fair while. Carmen's Cuts. Little nursing place here. I've never seen it open, and it's by appointment only, so that'll be why. Skyview Massage. Used to be Margate Dental Clinic, Denture Clinic, but it closed down. Now it's Massage. So this is Bain Street, B-A-Y-N-E-S, and there's a fair bit to talk about actually for this street. So I'll try and crack on through it as quickly as I can. Skin Cancer Place, it's been here for a long time. I can't even remember what was here before it. Margate sign that was put up a few years ago, lights up at night. There's a gym here, Peninsula Fitness, 24/7. Been down there for a long time. In fact, I can't remember it not being there. Peninsula Fitness. This used to be a place called I think it was called Marles, Marles Bakery, in this location here, and it's gone. And it was a bit of a Redcliffe icon, Margate icon anyway. Pretty good bakery, and yeah, long gone now. It's now a tattoo studio, Rose Rabbit Tattoo. Won't show you in there just in case anyone's getting tattooed, but looks pretty good. Margate Op Shop used to be a chemist, actually. Was fitted out as a chemist. Didn't last very long. Remember going in there for some Panadol once and came back the next week and it was gone. The next location here is called Malt, or that I know of is called Malt and Bay, and I think that's a play on words of Moreton Bay, home brew, all that sort of stuff. And it's got another location, or it used to be located up near, right next door to Rob's Barbershop in the old location. So I'll show you that when we get up there. This place here, Dynasty or Dynasty, I prefer Dynasty, but I don't know which one it is Chinese restaurant. Must have been there for decades, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I had a massive house clear out, but that one didn't get that.
Don't ever remember it not being there. I've never been there myself, but if you need some Chinese, that's where to go. Nails and Beauty place, it's been there, and the TK Nails and Beauty, been there as long as I remember. Got a few cafes and hairdressers and stuff in this area. A lot of them have been around for decades. G'day. Dry cleaner here. Dry cleaner, and there used to be a hairdressers in this previous one as well, which is now called Revival Green Studio. That used to be a hairdressers, now gone. This place here has been here forever. I don't ever remember it not being here. Moving on to last buildings, in this part of Bain Street. They've always been professional offices as far as I've known. Got a chiropractor, occupational therapist, psychologist at the moment. And an interesting thing about this part is the TWR Group. So this is an accounting firm, and it's owned by Terry Rogers, so hence the T. Not sure if there's a middle name there, but Terry Rogers, who is used to be the member for Redcliffe actually in the Queensland Parliament. So that's his business there. I won't go too much inside, but that's it there. TWR Group. So that's Bain Street. You've got a petrol station down here. Just have a quick look at that. So this used to be a Woolworths petrol station. I actually used to work at this location. It used to be called Woolworths plus Petrol. That was the name. And I stopped working for Woolworths in 2005, I think. And so it would have been built before then. It would have been built in that period between 2000 and 2005. And I used to work here when it first opened, about a year after it opened. And there used to be this big deal of getting 4 cents per litre off petrol and all that jazz. It wasn't open 24/7. It was just open. It was open the same hours as a supermarket, basically. So 8 in the morning till 9 at night. It did suffer a fire at one point, and they rebuilt it partly after the fire. A funny thing about working in there is that the building itself is pretty small, and it's basically got a counter, a little showroom, or a little spot for fridges and stuff, and then out the back is just a sink, all the switchboard and controls for the pumps and all the electrical stuff, and then a toilet. So if you wanted to go to the toilet, that was fine, but the door, if you shut the door, that was all the privacy you got, so nobody could go in there because there was nothing, there was no separate door for the toilet. This is the Bendigo Bank, set up, I don't know, maybe 10-15 years ago as an extension to the Margate shops. Community owned, so people could buy shares in it. So this is the extension. It used to end here, and they've extended it on out there. This is inside the Margate Village. This is the Terry White Chemist. So the building was extended to include this. So where the line is, just there on the ground, that used to be where the place ended. And this used to be a butcher. Used to be a butcher shop here, and it was a father and son butchery. And they also had the butchery at Kippering Peninsula Fair. Newsagent, been there forever. This store up here called Bargain Mates used to be a fruit shop. On my right hand side, used to be a fruit shop, and also I'm pretty sure in where it's Creative Health Massage up there on the right hand side used to be Plaza Picks. So that is all good? Yeah, I'll be out in about 3-4 minutes. Cool. Security there just asking why I'm recording. But he's all good, so that's good. Yeah, so the building, the shop called Creative Health Massage used to be called Plaza Picks, and that was a photo store, and it was owned by a father and son, Phil and I can't think of the dad's name, and I think the dad retired, and Phil moved his business to the end of Victoria Avenue, not Victoria Avenue. Anyway, down in the Clontarf industrial area, he set up another business, a photo business, down in Clontarf. Anyway, let's keep going. The butcher wasn't there all the time, and I can't quite remember what was there, but this little locksmith has been here forever. The rumour is that the previous owner's wife died by suicide, and so it changed hands and it's with the current owner. Tobacco place. Can't actually remember what was there before. Baker's Delight has been there forever. It's under new ownership though from what was there before. So this is the other side of shopping centre. And we've got a series of shops here. I'll just show you around what used to be down here. You got pathology. There's a pathology lab on the left hand side here. QML Pathology. That used to be a dental place, but now it's pathology. Sat vacant for many years. Down this alleyway here, there's quite a few little shops. Alright, we're back moving again. Little carvery kind of place. It's been through a few sets of hands. At one stage it was locked up with a sign saying that the people who owned it didn't pay their rent. So it was locked up, but it looks like it's back open again. People in there preparing food. Post office, been here for decades. Pretty straightforward. Fruit shop. So this is the Terry White Chemist, Jordan Valley Fruit. This was the Chemist. Okay, so Chemist used to be on this corner. It wasn't a Terry White though. It was just some other chemist name, and it was here for decades. And then it closed when they redeveloped the Margate shopping centre, and it became a Terry White. And then this opened a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. I've never been in there myself, but moved in there as the Jordan Valley Fruit. Keep moving along. We've got Dwyer and Ross, optometrists. Looks like it's been here since 1962, so 60 something years. Vinnie's, or St Vincent de Paul, has been here for a little while, and they've taken over this shop here. Looks like you've got tradies working in there now. This used to be a TAB, so if you're not from Australia or not from Queensland, it was a betting shop. And it always seemed to be busy, always people. And now I put a few bets on myself in there, and it's closed. Got two more shops here. Ray White Real Estate, and I think it was in the Tennessee next door, and it's now moved. So we'll just have a squiz at that. This one's vacant. I'm pretty sure that this used to be the Ray White, but I could be wrong. Alright, we've got a bit of roadworks here, but we might cross and see if we can get to the other side of the road, because I want to show you the other little block of shops before we move back down. So we're on the corner intersection now of Duffield Road, Duffield, and Oxley Avenue, Oxley, in Margate. Pretty busy intersection. There's roadworks going on here, so we're having to move a little bit differently. In traffic, a couple of strange looks with the camera, but that's the life. Alright, we'll duck through the traffic and show you this little block of shops here. This place is called City Cave Massage, float, sauna kind of thing. This used to be Pizza Hut. Many years ago, Pizza Hut, and it was very popular, and then it closed. There's a couple of other places here that are interesting. One of them is this tenancy coming up here, which I'll show you. here. So it's called Elements and Co. Used to be Mama's Italian restaurant. I'll talk about that a bit more. We got Thai Hut here. That's very popular. It's owned by Farang and his wife, Thai wife. And then you got a little cafe here. I didn't even know this was here. Connie's Sweet Spot. Didn't even know this existed, but here we are. So, stand in the shade because I'm feeling the burn of the Queensland weather. Now, Mama's, which was over where the Elements & Co is, was a bit of a Margate icon for years, and it closed. The owners was a couple, retired, and then they got the hunger to work in the restaurant again, so they've reopened it on Redcliffe Parade, next to the old, I think it was the old Commonwealth Bank, on the corner of Baker Street, Baker, and Redcliffe Parade, next to the Gold Bullion Australia location. So they've reopened it. However, the one half of the couple, I'm not sure of his name, passed away about 12 months ago. So that's all still going though. Mama's. G'day. People not friendly this morning, but anyway, we'll continue. So over on the corner here of Duffield Road and Oxley Avenue, you got the doctor's surgery. So this used to be Margaret Ho, last name spelled H-O. Looks like the venue has sold. I don't know how long ago, but this used to be a bank. I'm pretty sure it was an ANZ Bank, and it became the surgery of Dr. Margaret Ho, who, if my memory is correct, only ever practiced on the peninsula, Redcliffe Peninsula, her whole career, and retired some years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago, could be more, I'm not sure, but yes, this used to be a bank. All the banks are closed, all the little banks that were in every suburb. I think at one point there were 12 banks on the peninsula. You can see it there though, 267 Oxley Avenue, previous surgery of Dr. Margaret Ho. You can see this building here, which is a tobacconist, MTG Margate Tobacconist and Gift Store. Okay, used to be Aussie Car Parts, just a little one-man band car parts shop. I went in there once and they helped me out. It was dirt cheap. Shut up shop, I would say, about 10 years ago. And we've got a tobacconist here now. Opening hours, you can see there, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh no, not on Sundays. I can't count. There used to be a laptop repair business somewhere here. We'll just go and have a walk down and see if it's still here. It used to be up on the second level. Repairs of laptop screens and batteries and all that sort of stuff. I went in there once and they wanted way too much money, and I walked straight back out. But I can't see it there. There's no signs for it. So maybe it's gone. So no, have a quick look. No, looks like it's gone. This fashion shop has been here for decades. I don't ever remember it not being here. Sort of caters to the older crowd. These couple of shops here, this used to be a cafe, and it closed and then reopened as this sort of crystal jewellery kind of arty sort of shop. The next couple of shops here are Cleaver Firearms. So this is their old location here. You can see it there, Cleaver Firearms. This is their old store, and I'm pretty sure they have they use this as a storage area. Okay, and during the cyclone they had a generator running here, so I'm assuming that maybe it was something to do with the temperature control or something in there, but that's their location there. And you can see where we are on Oxley Avenue. Okay. So we're on the other side of Oxley Avenue now, the western side. Cartridge World, been here for decades. Refilling cartridges. So much for the paperless office. This little shop here used to be a sort of op shop, like a second-hand store. At one point it was a little dodgy little training college. Never busy. Pretty battered up little fit out. Down here you got a pretty iconic Redcliffe business called Cash's Floor Coverings. I don't actually remember how long since it's been closed, but it would be decades now. But it was always around. Carpets, rugs, that sort of thing. Lino. Cash's Floor Coverings. It's all peeling now. Across the road you got Centrelink. Or Services Australia, I think they call it. Now during COVID, I remember coming down here and counting almost 100 people lined up that had all lost their jobs, lined up to this spot here, and you'll see when we go around how far that is from the door, lining up for their emergency payments during COVID when they hit us with the lockdowns. And there were overnight hundreds of thousands of people out of work. I remember thinking, wow, that's a moment in history, really. That I don't think I'll forget that. Centrelink Medicare, so here for your government benefits. Okay, there's your sign, Centrelink and Medicare. Fortunately, I don't have to go there myself, or haven't done for many years, as I'm working. This is Smiles Dental Care. I actually played sport for a while with this guy, but I don't know what's happened to him. I haven't seen him for a very long time, so maybe he's given it away, or playing another sport or something like that. Yeah, we're continuing to move down the western side of Oxley, feeling the burn of the Aussie heat. Got a radiology place and a employment agency there. It's pretty busy down here. It's always busy. It actually took me a while to get a car park, and this is a Wednesday morning. It's not even 10 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, so I got down here about 10 past 9.